17th, 1972, in St. Joseph, Missouri. He never knew his father, who was Marshall Mathers Jr., because he abandoned the family when Eminem was an infant, and he refused any letters or any type of contact that Eminem tried to have with him. Eminem tried to contact him a lot during his childhood and was denied, which created a lot of resentment that is later found in his music. As a result, Eminem was raised by a single mother named Deborah Mathers. They moved frequently between Missouri and Detroit, Michigan, eventually deciding to settle in Detroit. And on the screen, the house is Eminem's childhood home in Detroit, and that's a picture of him as a child. Eminem moved around a lot as a child as they went back and forth between Missouri and Detroit, and this ended up not allowing him to make a lot of friends, which also led to him keeping mostly to himself and being the outcast at each new school. He ended up going to high school and staying there at Lincoln High School in Warren, Michigan. He was bullied a lot. He would be beaten up in the bathroom, in the hallways, shoved into lockers, and school was not the best thing for him. He ended up dropping out at the age of 17, but all throughout high school, no matter how bad his grades were, he was always good at English, and he was drawn to words and having a strong vocabulary and being able to fall back on that whenever he needed to. So, getting into music. As a dropout, Eminem had a passion for language despite being very angry with his youth. He was able to use his language to get into the genre of hip-hop, which was up and coming during this time. Eminem joined the Detroit rap scene as a competitor in what were called rap battles. These were competitions where two rappers would take turns insulting each other through improvised lyrics. And this was shown in the movie 8 Mile. And the picture to the top right of the screen is a scene from that movie. And that's what a typical rap battle would look like. Eminem ended up working a lot of odd jobs to make ends meet while participating in the rap battles, and he did the rap battles to try to land a record contract because on the popular nights a lot of music people would come. And also, and during this time in Eminem's life, he began dating Kim Ann Scott, and in 1995 the couple actually had a daughter named Haley Jade Scott, and Haley appears in Eminem's music a lot, and the bottom picture is Kim and Eminem. So Eminem's career finally takes off, and Eminem released the Slim Shady EP, which was discovered by Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre was so impressed with Eminem that he ended up signing him to Interscope Records label, and after 2 years of working, they released this Slim Shady LP. Now, the LP went on to sell over 3 million copies, and after that, his career kept increasing, and he was able to produce the Marshall Mathers LP, which sold over 19 million copies worldwide, won the Grammy Award for Best Rap Album, received a nomination for Album of the Year, and is widely considered among one of the greatest rap albums of all time. Now, while it was critically acclaimed, the LP also came under a lot of fire for the excessive profanity, glorification of drugs, and such. And according to an Eminem expose, where the critics, despite the attacks on people of different races and orientations, and even his mom and dad, the critics that reviewed the album say that if it is taken lightheartedly, it's actually quite comical and enjoyable. And throughout the LP, Eminem uses different personas, such as Marshall Mathers, Eminem, and Slim Shady, to get across different perspectives of his life. Eminem ran into some personal problems. Him and Kim divorced in 2000, continued an on and off again relationship where they remarried in 2006 and then divorced again several months later. This created a public custody dispute over Haley, which lasted for a long time. And during this time, his addiction to alcohol, sleeping pills, and prescription painkillers became a very serious problem. In December 2007, he overdosed and nearly died. And in 2008, he managed to kick his drug addiction, and he released Relapse in 2009 and the album Recovery in 2010. And in 2010, when he released that, it was an autobiographical attempt to come to terms with his struggles with addiction and his experience with rehabilitation. And that album ended up winning a Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. Now, these lyrics are from one of his early albums. See, what hurts me the most is you won't admit you was wrong. Do your song, keep telling yourself that you was a mom. Remember when Ronnie died and you said you wished it was me? Well, guess what? I am dead to you as can be. And these are Eminem attacking his mom in the early stages of his life. And that's how he was able to express his anger and resentment towards her. As he grew up a little more, this is from one of his middle albums. And I'm debating on leaving this world this evening. Even my girls can see I'm grieving. I try and hide it, but I can't. Why do I act like I'm all high and mighty when inside I'm dying? I am finally realizing I need help. Can't do it myself. Too weak. And this is where Eminem, you can see through his music how personally he's going through a change. And this is important because it shows growth through him. And this song is called Headlights from one of his very recent albums. I went in head first, never thinking about what I said hurt, and what verse my mom probably got it the worst. And I'm mad I didn't get the chance to thank you for being my mom and my dad. I'll always love you from afar because you're my mom. And this is where he's really coming to terms and letting go of his anger and resentment and showing how much a person can really grow and transition, which is extremely important to the case where he is a very influential American artist. In Lose Yourself, he creates a lot of imagery, metaphors, and similes. The imagery that he uses is there's vomit on his sweater already, mom's spaghetti. And this is creating just like the most a vivid picture that he can get across to how nervous he really is on stage. And the metaphor that he uses is, you only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. And it doesn't literally mean a gun shooting at a shot. It means that he has like this one chance to really perfect this rap and get noticed, and he needs to take it and not miss it. And the simile he uses is, tear this mother like roof off like two dogs caged. And he's comparing his excitement in tearing the roof off, because when two dogs are caged and they finally get out, they're extremely excited and they bounce all over the place, which is kind of what he does when he takes the roof off. And in this song, Untouchable, which is off of his very recent album, it says he's using his musical platform now to create awareness of problems throughout our culture today. And black boy, we ain't gonna lie to you, black boy, we don't like the sight of you. And with all the gun violence and police brutality stuff that is going on, this is where this song kind of stems from. Another line is, pistol drew right at you, we'd be delighted to unload it in your back, then walk up and lay that taser on the side of you. And then it shows how the white boy is the supremacist, and it says, white boy, you're untouchable. The world's coming to an end, I don't even care. Showing how supposedly white cops think that they're so above everyone else and they don't care what anyone else thinks. So his influence on American literature, he has challenged how American literature is seen. He is at the top of the rap game, but he still has struggles to face. And according to Strategic Visuals in Hip Hop Life Writing, he uses those struggles to really show how he has overcome the fact that he is white and still working hard to break down that color barrier. And the imagery and similes and metaphors that he uses are also outlined in the Strategic Visual and Hip Hop Life Writing academic journal. And this is extremely important to show how his poetry is viewed and the uniqueness of it, because he doesn't use typical lyrics like most songs, like shown in the song Headlights, and according to Mosaic, a journal for the interdisciplinary study of literature, throughout his songs, he bashes his parents, but yet he's able to admit that not having them would have made his life more disastrous. And that's important and shows that he is able to really understand himself and help others in the process. And the way that he says his lyrics is extremely important, the diction that he uses, because when you emphasize certain words, a different message comes across. So the way that he uses diction is also very influential on the literature that we are seeing today. And that is why Eminem is a very influential American literature artist, and thank you.